Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is the Jolting Joe Sports Show, and I'm your host, Jolting Joe Pellerin. What are you smoking? What are you drinking today? I got a fancy Rocky Patel. This is the White Label, aged 10 years, Connecticut wrapper. Show that to you there. Good looking cigar. Tastes pretty damn good too. Now today, as I'm recording this, is actually Good Friday. And so we're going to make a rusty nail since it's Good Friday. All right. Now, for my religious friends out there, I don't mean to offend you, but I figured Jesus would have a sense of humor. And so on Good Friday, you have to drink rusty nails because it's Crucifixion Day. And you got to drink 3 of them because you don't want to leave him hanging. So if you're not familiar with a rusty nail, all right, put this down. It is Drambuie. All right, it's going to be 3/4 of an ounce of Drambuie. All right, and we'll dump that into our glass. And then it's 1.5 ounces of blended Scotch. I've got Dewar's. All right, you can use Chivas, J&B, Dewar's, any blended Scotch whiskey. You don't want to do this with single malt. All right, you'll ruin it. All right, whoop. Okay, there's 3/4 of an ounce, and another 3/4 of an ounce is going to make it 1.5 ounces. There we go. Alrighty. All right. Now, normally, and then we're going to take it and kind of give it a little twirl here. You do serve it over ice. That's all it is Drambuie, and Scotch is a very Scotch-heavy drink. All right, so I'm going to give it kind of a little stir with my finger there. All right, get it all up and good there. And then normally what you would do is you'd put a little lemon twist in here, which I don't have right now, and then garnish it with a lemon peel, okay? But that is your rusty nail, so happy Good Friday. And remember, drink 3 of them. You don't want to leave him hanging. All right. Oh, that's tasty. All right. So let's start with the Masters. My neighbor's got the weed eater out. Might be loud, but that's what you hear in the background there, so I do apologize. Let's start with the Masters, though. So when last time I recorded was on opening day. Also was the opening day of the Masters. Now, first of all, Tiger Woods. The fact that he was even able to play in the Masters is a freaking miracle and freaking amazing. He did okay on day 1. He did okay on day 2. He freaking made the cut, which is once again unbelievable. Then he had back-to-back 76s on Saturday and Sunday, and he finished at plus 13. He didn't finish last. He was 40-something. Still made $43,500 though. Not bad for 4 days work. I know he was in a lot of pain though, but just like I said, just to see Tiger out there was freaking phenomenal. And then Scheffler, Scotty Scheffler, he just freaking dominated. That's all there was to it. Rory McIlroy made a late push. Cam kind of fell apart there at the end in that final group. And then Morikawa was kind of there towards the end. He made a good push. Lowry was doing okay there towards the end. But Scheffler just had he had a pretty damn good lead going into he kind of took the lead on Friday, had the lead through Saturday, had a 3-shot lead entering Sunday, and then he just never was really in any problem. Nobody really ever threatened him. He ended up, I think he double bogeyed. Yeah, I think he did. I think he double bogeyed 18. Didn't matter because he needed 9. If he would have 9-putted, it would have put him into a tie. And I think he ended up, because he went for birdie, missed it, went for par and missed. I think he bogeyed it, I think is what it was, because I think he 3-putted for it. But, or maybe, it was a 3-putt or a 4-putt for bogey or double bogey, but he ended up fine. He still ended up winning by 3 strokes. He was fine. So, usually on Sunday, the Sunday of the Masters, you want, a good competitive Masters. You want it to be close. You want there to be some drama. And there just never really was. Like I said, Scheffler just kind of dominated that. Let's see, what else I got to talk about? Oh, damn it, I left my NBA stuff downstairs. That's okay. That's what we got phones for. Let me pull up my, here we go. What were we talking about here? So we got the Masters. That was it as far as that goes. Like I said, just nothing really a lot to talk about that. Like I said, Scheffler just dominated. And then Tiger, just great story. You know, would have liked to see Tiger do a little bit better, but just to see Tiger make the, well, first of all, just see Tiger playing, and then just to see Tiger actually make the cut was freaking phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Opening day was amazing. The Astros won their 10th consecutive opening day, which set the modern day record. And then they tied the Boston Beaneaters, which actually is the Atlanta Braves nowadays. But they tied the Boston Beaneaters, which won 10 straight, I think, from 1887 to 1896. All right, which was in 1896. I mean, that's still 7 years before the first World Series. So they did tie so like I said, they set a modern day record, quote there. And then they, not only did they do that, but they tied the Boston Beaneaters. And just a good opening day all the way around. I hope everybody enjoyed it and stuff. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's a long season. Astros played a really crappy game. Not yesterday, but the day before, on Wednesday against Arizona. That game mercifully ended. Which actually brings me to the runner on second rule for extra innings, because the Astros Diamondbacks game, Astros pitchers walked 9 guys in that game. They also hit 3 batters. It was 1-1 going into the 10th, and at that point I think the game was already hovering around 4 hours at that point. Remember, universal DH in the National League now. So the game, I think, was hovering around 3.5, 4 hours at that point. Dull game, boring game. Nobody could freaking score. The Diamondbacks should have won that game by like 10 runs, but they were like 0 for, and the last graphic I saw, they were 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. I think they were like 0 for 12 at some point. It was bad. Astros, same thing. Nobody really was doing a whole hell of a lot. Also, it was a getaway day. The Astros had to catch a plane and fly up to Seattle for the next game. Games like those are the reason for the regular season, and regular season only, I'm completely okay with the runner at second base. That game was over in 10 innings, and it should have been over in 10 innings. Nobody wanted to watch that game anymore. Dusty didn't want to have to use any more pitchers. The players didn't want to be there. The fans didn't want to be there. Hell, I didn't want to watch it anymore, to be completely honest with you. So I'm okay with that's why I'm okay with the runner at second. It speeds the game up. It ends games quicker. It saves arms. It saves you for the season. I'm completely okay with it. There's an argument to be made to say, hey, let's play the 10th inning regular. Let's play the 10th. Let's see if we can end this thing naturally. And then if we can't, then we go to the runner at second. It's kind of like, all right, boys, you got 1 inning to figure this out and actually do this thing the proper way. And if you can't, well, we're going to put the runner at second base. So actually in the future, we'll see what they do next year. Now, this year they did it because of the shortened spring training. We'll see if they completely get rid of it next year, or if we see if they keep it, or maybe if they do keep it, maybe they move it to the 11th inning, which I think I would be okay with too. But like I said, in the regular season, I'm completely okay with it. I have no problem with it with it all. I know there's a lot of baseball purists out there saying, well, it's not baseball, but there's a lot of things that, games grow, games change. I'm completely fine with it. All right. So, like I said, nobody wanted to watch that thing anymore. Just put everybody out their misery, get it over in 10, you're done, go home. All right, and that's what happened. All right. The other big news of note for baseball was Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw, and I believe this was Wednesday as well. Clayton Kershaw had a perfect game, not a no-hitter, but a perfect game through 7 innings. All right, so that is 27 times 3 is 21 by my historian math. And so it was 21 up, 21 down. No hits, no walks, no errors, no hit by pitch. Nobody reached. All right. There's, I believe, only been 23 perfect games in the entire history of Major League Baseball. That's it. All right. In well over 120 years, 130, 40, however long baseball's been going on, there's only been 23 perfect games ever in Major League history. We haven't had one in several years now. I think it's been about like 10 years or something crazy like that since we've had a perfect game. It's been a while. Dave Roberts pulls Clayton Kershaw after the seventh. He was sitting at 80 pitches. A lot of debate about this. All right, and here's kind of where I stand. I understand what Dave Roberts was doing. Clayton Kershaw was late to spring training. Clayton Kershaw has an injury history. He has had issues with his back. He's had issues with his elbow. He's not fully stretched out. You do not want to blow Kershaw's arm or anything else associated with him, back, legs, anything, in his second start of the season in April. I get it. Kershaw said that he agreed with the decision. All right. I guess I can't be that mad if Kershaw was okay with it. But I understand if this was just been a regular no-hitter. Kershaw's thrown a no-hitter before. No-hitters get thrown all the time. Hell, there were several last season. Perfect games, though, are incredibly rare. 23 of them in the entire history of Major League Baseball. That's it. Kershaw was at 80 pitches. I get that. I get you're trying to save him. But this is a once in a lifetime, or at least professional lifetime, to try and get this perfect game. Had I been Dave Roberts, I would have told Clayton, I would have sent him out there, but I would have had a pitcher up throwing in the eighth. I would have had a pitcher up and throwing in the ninth. If he walks a guy, if he hits a guy, if he gives up a hit, I'm pulling him right then and there. If he would have thrown one pitch in the eighth inning and it was a hit, or he hit the guy and the perfect game was over, I'm bringing in the reliever. Roberts has done this before. He did it with Rich Hill. Rich Hill had a perfect game too, and he pulled him. But perfect games are so rare. When is Clayton Kershaw ever going to have a chance to throw another perfect game, or try to throw another perfect game? And once again, it was the eighth inning. He had 6 more outs to get. Okay? It wasn't a done deal. It wasn't like he got pulled in the ninth with, 2 outs. Like I said, I understand where Dave Roberts is coming from. But it's history, man. And if Clayton Kershaw throws 20 more pitches and gets the perfect game, are those 20 extra pitches really going to affect Kershaw that much in the length of the season? Now, of course, you can also say that what if Kershaw would have blown his elbow out, trying to get the perfect game, and then Dave Roberts ended up being right. We don't know, obviously. And then at the same time, Dave Roberts could have pulled him in this game. Next start Kershaw makes, he could hurt himself. So is that 20 pitches in the long scheme of things? Now, if it was the ninth inning and he was sitting in like 100, if it was like the eighth, hell, even if it was the eighth inning, if it was still the eighth inning and he was like sitting at 100 pitches, 110 pitches, yeah, I would get it more pulling, but he was at 80 pitches. That's an efficient 7 innings. An incredibly efficient 7 innings. Okay. Now, also, if I was Clayton Kershaw, if I was Dave Roberts, I would have let him go. But like I said, you put somebody in the pen in the 8th inning, you put somebody in the pen in the 9th inning, first sign of anything happening, you yank him. Okay? Right? Even if he still has a no-hitter. He walks a guy, hits a guy, there's an error committed behind him, you pull him. He has a no-hitter. No-hitters happen all the time. Pull him. Okay with that. If I'm Clayton Kershaw, I'm telling Dave Roberts, I'm going back out there. All right. Now, Kershaw did say that he was okay with it. He's not fully stretched out, things like that. 80 pitches was kind of a lot for him at this point. I get that too. But come on, man, the competitor in you, once again, when are you going to have the opportunity to throw another perfect game? Don't you have to at least go out there and try to throw this perfect game and become a part of history? Just why would you not do that? Why would you not try? Now, I guarantee there's a couple pitchers that come to mind that would have told Dave Bautista, get your ass back to the dugout. One's Gerrit Cole. All right. Now, Gerrit Cole, of course, is healthy. But if Gerrit Cole last year against the Astros, he was facing his old team. He wanted to finish the inning. Aaron Boone came to get him, and you could read Cole's lips. He told Boone, I'm not coming out. Get your ass back to the dugout. And Boone said, all right. And he freaking left. Cole finished the inning. And that's, and so Cole did that. The other pitcher that I can think of that would have told Dave Roberts to go to hell is Justin Verlander. Now, Verlander's coming off a Tommy John surgery, okay? If Verlander was in the seventh, had gone through 7 innings, perfect game. Now, once again, Justin Verlander's got, 3 no-hitters? 4 no-hitters? All right? I think he's got at least 3, if not 4, okay? But he doesn't have a perfect game, obviously. If he's in the 7th inning, or comes into the 8th inning of that game, and he's only thrown 80 pitches, coming off of Tommy John, if Dusty would have went out there tried to get him, Verlander would have stared daggers at him, and Verlander would have said, get your ass back to the dugout. I ain't coming out of this damn game. All right? Until I give it up, I'm finishing it. I don't care if I've had Tommy John or not. This is a perfect game. I'm staying in. Now, also, too, Dusty's old school. I don't think Dusty would have went out there and got him. All right? But that's just where I'm at on that. Like I said, it sucks for the fans. It sucks for Kershaw. It sucks for baseball. And, we'll see if if it ends up actually being effective or not. We don't know. Only time will tell as far as that goes. But if it wasn't a perfect game, if it was a no-hitter, I understand. Perfect game, man. Perfect game. 27 up, 27 down. You can't let him try and go out there and do that. 6 more outs, 20 more pitches. Everything was working good. He ain't going to be out there long. He was filthy. I mean, come on. Let him go out there. Let him go out there. Like I said, I get it. I just don't agree with it. All right, I just do not agree with it whatsoever. I think you let him go out there and try. All right. Now, like I said, Kershaw seemed to be okay with it. He didn't get pissed. He didn't go back to the dugout and throw his mitt. He didn't grab a bat and start beating the hell out of the water cooler. He didn't go and hit the showers. He was in the dugout. He stayed in the dugout. He was smiling. He was talking. He was having a conversation with Roberts. Kumbaya and everything. But perfect game. Come on. That one, I have a hard time wrapping my brain around that one. Okay. Good Lord, man. Good Lord. All right. Let's see. We got anything else to talk about? NFL news. Derek Carr signed a contract with the Raiders. I think he's getting, that's a big deal too. So he's going to get it. Oh, one more baseball thing too. We'll finish at the NFL, but Baker Mayfield's pissed, rightfully so. He feels disrespected, and rightfully so. We'll see where Baker ends up. We'll see if they can try and trade him or if they just end up releasing him. But Baker's owed, I think, like $18 million this year, so it's going to be a financial gamble for teams looking for it. But I just don't know where he's going to go at this point unless he goes to, Atlanta or something. Maybe Carolina. I think Carolina still needs a QB. But Matt Ryan's in Indianapolis. Locke went to Seattle. Wentz went to Washington. Russell Wilson went to Denver. Deshaun went to Cleveland. The Falcons picked up Mariota. I think Baker would be an improvement over Mariota, just my own personal opinion. So I think the only team that really needs a quarterback right now is Carolina, but we'll see what happens with that. All right. Other baseball thing. These unwritten rules. Once again, I know there's a lot of baseball purists out there. I'm just not. I love baseball, but games change. All right. The NFL's not what it used to be. The NBA's not what it used to be. Baseball's not what it used to be. All right. If you want to, go back to the 1970s and 80s and, have sack bunts and move runners over and steals, that's just not today's game. Okay. But baseball, of course, has these unwritten rules. Like you're not supposed to do this and you're not supposed to do that and blah blah blah. And I mean, quite frankly, it makes the freaking game boring as hell. All right. You hit a monster home run, fucking flip your bat. I don't give a shit. All right. If you're a pitcher and you strike a guy out, bases loaded, and up by 1 run, you should be able to come off that mound and be like and yell and scream and hoop and holler and everything. NFL does it with touchdowns. People celebrate, guys celebrate dunks in the NBA. You should be able to celebrate in baseball. All right. If you're a pitcher, don't give up the home run. If you're a hitter, don't miss the fucking ball. All right. Now, what happened in the Giants-Padres game a couple days ago is the Padres were up by quite a lot. I think it was 7-1 at the time. Not a huge lead. All right. Or it was like 9-1. So it was something like that. It was like we'll just say a 7-9 run lead. But it was only the second inning. Only the second inning. One of the Giants players stole second. And the Padres got pissy, saying that you're not supposed to steal when you're up by so much. It's the second fucking inning. There is a shit ton of baseball left to fucking play. Are you fucking kidding me? What happens if the Giants put up a 4 spot in 1 inning and a 5 spot in the next inning, and the next thing you know, this game's tied at 9? You're going to get pissed that a guy stole second base in the second fucking inning? Go fuck yourself. All right? And then in the 6th inning, Giants lay down a bunt. They were up big. The guy lays down a bunt. Okay? Now, laying down a bunt for a no-hitter to break up a no-hitter, that's a little, that one I get. Unless it's a close game. If it's 1-0 or it's 0-0 and it's getting late in the game and you're trying to get base runners on, you're trying to win the game, fuck the no-hitter. Try to win the goddamn game. All right? And if you want to try to bunch your way on, bunch your way on. At that point, who gives a shit? It's a free-for-all. All right? If you got a no-hitter going, a guy tries to bunt and you're up 5-0 and it's like in the 8th inning, now fuck that guy. Okay? But, like I said, close game, 8th inning or something like that, it's 0-0, it's 1-0, you just need to get some base runners, and you want to try and bunch your way on because you haven't been able to do anything else, do it. All right, do it. I'm okay with it. All right, but anyway, the guy bunted. Hosmer got pissy. The manager of the Padres got pissy, and Gabe Kaplan, the manager of the Giants, was fantastic. He was like, you know what? If we don't, if we don't want you to hit a home run on a 3-0 count, we're going to walk you. Okay? If we don't want you to steal, we're going to try and throw you out. All right? If we, don't want you to bunt, we're going to move the infield in. All right? He said, we're trying to win ball games. And God bless Gabe Kapler for saying that. That's exactly the right response to that. Fucking second inning and you can't fucking steal. What kind of fucking bullshit is that? Fucking horrible. Just dumb. Absolutely dumb. But some of those fucking unwritten rules are fucking stupid. All right. And then it's just fucking stupid too, because like the irony of it is like last year in the division series against the Astros and the White Sox. Now, number one, Kendall Graveman had hit several players towards the end of the season. His control was not great. And then he plunked a guy in the division series, and then La Russa got pissy because he thought he was intentionally trying to hit the guy, and it's like, the Astros are up by we don't want base runners at this point. We're not trying to put guys on base. Why do you think we hit? And then Graveman goes to the White Sox, and Graveman tells La Russa, I wasn't trying to hit him. And La Russa's like, oh, yeah, I know. It's like, I thought it then, but I know now that you didn't. Yeah, because he's playing for you. Go fuck yourself, Tony La Russa. That's fucking bullshit, too. Jesus Christ. Just assess the goddamn situation, for Christ's sakes. And fucking... See, this is shit that pisses me off. This is why I'm cussing a blue streak right now. It's fucking dumb. Some of this shit is just fucking dumb. All right. That's just me. Okay. Let's, let me see here. Let's get into the NBA playoffs here, because the NBA playoffs started with the play-in games. All right, and let me see what's going. Let's see what's going on here in NBA playoffs, because I gotta get the fucking schedule out here, because I don't know what the fuck's going on. All right, here we go. Okay, so we got the little bracket here. Okay. Actually, that's fucking shitty. Hold on a second. Let's do this. Let's see, NBA playoff schedule. How about this? Figure this out. This will probably be better. Yeah, here we go. Okay. All right. Now, I think the play-in is not over with just yet. I don't believe. All right. Let me pull this up here. All right. Yeah, I think the West playoff game and the East playoff game haven't happened just yet. Okay. But in the West here, yeah, these playing games are fucking killing me here. All right, that's the first round. Where's the playoff? The playoff rounds in here? Come on, NBA. Yeah, the last game's today. Well, let me hit the play-in thing here. Okay, so the play-in schedule, Cleveland and Brooklyn played. Brooklyn, I know, beat Cleveland. The Clippers, let's see, Minnesota beat the Clippers. So the winners earned 7 seeds and advanced to the NBA playoffs. So Minnesota's in, Brooklyn is in, and then I think the Hawks beat the Hornets, if I believe, and then the Spurs, I believe, beat the Pelicans, I think, and then so I don't know, and then the last one's in here. So like I said, the play-in shit's confusing. So let me see here. All right, so this is going to be our last few minutes here. Sorry, this is going to get in a little thing. So, all right, so the Heat are going to play the number 8 seed, whoever that's going to be coming out of the East. The Miami Heat are going to be the 1 seed, and you got Boston taking on Brooklyn, Milwaukee taking on Chicago, the 76ers taking on the Raptors, and then in the Western Conference, the Sun will take on whoever comes the 8 seed. The Grizzlies will take on the Timberwolves. The Warriors will take on the Nuggets. The Mavericks will take on the Jazz. All right. Okay. Miami, number 1 seed. I don't think it matters who the 8 seed is going to be. I'll say that the Heat are going to win that series. Heat are damn good. The Brooklyn Nets, that's a fucking interesting goddamn matchup right there. I'll go ahead and take Boston, though. And then Milwaukee versus the Bulls. You got to go with the defending champs. I'll take Milwaukee. 76ers versus the Raptors. I mean, the Sixers should win that game, though. I will not be surprised because James Harden plays for that team. We know about James Harden here in Houston. Toronto may upset him there. Phoenix should beat whoever the 8 seed is. Memphis should take care of Minnesota. I think Golden State takes care of Denver. Mavs and Jazz should be good, but I'll take the Mavs. So that's what we got for the NBA playoffs there. And I don't know how the seeding is right now because the NBA does brackets, which kind of pisses me off because in baseball and also in hockey and also in the NFL, the high seed always plays the low seed. There's no bracket. All right. So if you've got so for the NFL playoffs, the number 1 seed, they obviously get the bye, but they're going to play the low seed. So if a wild card team beats a division, if a wild card team beats a division winner, then the number 1 seed plays the wild card team. All right, they don't do it. Same thing with baseball. You play the lower seed. So So in baseball, now the playoffs are going to change this year, but in past years, the number one seed plays the wild card team because the wild card team's the lowest seed, and then the other two teams play each other, and then you go score to the ALCS. And I think they're going to keep that though. So whoever has, so the higher seed, so the one seed will play the lower seed, I think, coming out of the first round, because now you're going to have that little 3-game series for the playoffs in Major League Baseball as far as that goes. And the same thing, but the NBA should do the same damn thing. The bracket thing pisses me off because then you end up having a great matchup in like the Western quarterfinals or the Western semifinals, and when it should actually be the conference game. And you got like the freaking 1 seed playing the 2 seed in the freaking conference semifinals because that's the way the bracket matched up. It's stupid. All right. That's how you ended up with the Rockets playing the Warriors in the semifinals of the conference. It's just dumb. But anyway, so there's your NBA. All right, just about out of time here, so I'll just leave it with that. Enjoy the rest of the baseball. We'll see y'all next week. Enjoy Good Friday. Have a good Easter. And then once again, find me at Twitter at JJ Sports Show 63. On Twitter at JJ Sports Show 63 on Twitter. And enjoy some football. Also, forgot to mention it, USFL starting up this weekend. We'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll talk about that next week with the USFL because the XFL is supposed to start back up next year as well. Also, they have their coaches come out. So maybe we'll talk about USFL and XFL next week. All right, y'all have a good one. Cheers to everybody. Happy Good Friday. Happy Easter. No, forgot to mention it too. It's also Jackie Robinson Day. Jackie Robinson made his debut on this day 75 years ago. Broke the color barrier in 1947 against they're in Brooklyn at Ebbets Field against the Boston Braves. So happy Jackie Robinson Day. Forgot to mention that too. All right. We'll see y'all next week.